Hello and welcome back to another episode of Jane's Fighters Anthology as we continue with the Russian campaign. So last week, let's see if I can remember, I think we started off the week by protecting our airbase from yet another Chinese airstrike. Where they're getting these planes, I don't know, because we've pretty much thrashed their air force at this point. I mean, hell, we have 150, almost 150 confirmed kills just by ourselves on fighters alone, and our wingman has another 80. And that's not counting, the Wingman 3 we get in submissions, or Wingman 2, really. But then we followed it up. We've made huge advances. We've recaptured Vladivostok, I believe, along with most of the air bases and territory lost in the first few weeks. Currently, the Army, the Marines, the Russian military, and our NATO allies are currently working on encircling the rest of the Chinese forces still in Russian territory, and to that end, we helped with an A-10 strike by performing seed in advance of them. So let's see how much further we can beat back the Chinese this week. Razor Edge, Spastalani Air Base, date August 8th, local time 0500 hours. Weather clear. Situation: Chinese Air Force is attempting to engage Allied aircraft as their troops fall back to the border. Mission objective: several wings of Chinese fighters have overwhelmed our air patrols and are headed towards your air base at Spastalani. Intercept and destroy the enemy fighters. Threat suppression data: ground opposition none, air opposition unknown. So, once again, they're pulling fighters out of their ass, I see. Even though, 2 weeks ago now, that there was supposed to be one big final push that we easily and readily defeated. Alright, so they're going to start by hitting us with MiG-29s and go from there. Obviously, we're going to take an F-22. We're going to take 70% fuel load, because this should be a very short-range mission. We could probably even get away with 50, but I do like to have a little extra in case the engagement turns out to be longer than I expect. We're good on AMRAAMs. Sidewinders we're very low on. That would give me 2 more. So these are our last AIM-9Xs. I mean, we still have the AIM-9Ms, but I would prefer not to use those since they technically don't have lock-on after launch functionality, as far as I know, which makes them incompatible with the F-22. Because, normally they get a lock while they're on the pylon, because they see they can see the target themselves, but with the F-22 and the F-35, they're inside the bay doors. They can't see anything until after the launch, so they have to be specially queued after launch. And you can't do that with the AIM-9. It's certainly, at least, not with the version that's in this game. Maybe there was a block enhancement down the road that gave it some basic lock-on after launch functionality. Or maybe there was I think the AIM-9P is a thing. I think that was an Air Force version. Maybe there's an AIM-9R, so I don't know. I'd have to look into that, I guess. Because I thought the F-22s did have Sidewinders that weren't AIM-9Xs, at least at first. Well, because the Navy or the military want the focus rolling them out to older aircraft first to increase their survivability. But I don't know. I kind of want to look into that now. But in any case, let's go and defend our airbase once again. All right, we got MiG-29s right ahead of us. I think that's actually them right there. There we go. Jammers on. Dang it, we didn't quite get a kill. Looks like the Russian air defenses are kicking in. Woo! That one was close. I don't know how close, but that was close. Alright, let's take out the other one, and then by then I think our wingmen, if we have any, should have taken off. I thought I saw someone back here real close. He's turning around us. Or, I think. Maybe the air defense has got him. Okay, wingman, take care of him. We're going to, something's blowing up. Still time to look, though. FSX. Yeah, we're almost in range of that, so... Optimal range, that is. Let's get our AMRAMs off the rails while they're still of, somewhat effective range. There we go. Alright, looks like we nailed one. Come on. Okay, alright, now we can pull these guys into a dogfight. And hopefully our wingman will engage and not be all weird like he was in the sea mission where he just didn't want to engage anyone. Come on. Thank you, wingman. Oh, damn, I thought that killed him. We'll get you this time. There we go. Alright, where's those Q5s?
I'm taking a shot.
What do we got here? There they are. Looks like our wingman's doing a pretty good job of cracking them open. Ooh, this guy's... Oh, that's our wingman. Okay. And yeah, the other guy's dead. Alright. We're in the perfect position on this guy. We're gonna drop in behind him.
Oh, yeah.
Alright. That's awesome. We hit it. Oh, he got behind us. We went into that way too fast. So that's definitely on me. I think our nearest bandit is just gonna be this guy then.
Bandit, your 12 o'clock flow. I'm on it.
Yep. And I'm guessing they're escorting some fighter bombers. More Q5s, most likely. Now the question is, did our wingman use up all of his AMRAMs or not? I don't want to stray too long from my view if I'm going to be pointed at the ground. There they are, Q5s. As expected, we could probably range into 10 nautical miles now, since I think this is the last wave. Some ground units here. What do we got? P90. Okay. But we got some Russian army units here. There he is. But we have one continuing on his way.
Damage.
Alright, got one.
Missile launch. I'm getting going.
Hold on, wingman. We almost got the Q5s out. I was really hoping he'd have AMRAMs left, but apparently not. He might not even have Sidewinders left at this point, I guess. Shit. We lost our wingman. Alright, we finished off the attackers, though. Alright, come on. Oh, return. Ooh. Hey, the Russians are getting in on this. Nice. Oh, unfortunate they couldn't make it here in time to save our frickin' wingman, but, you know. Come on, there you are. Now let's see if we can return the favor here. Oh, I think we got a glancing hit on him there. Alright. Gotta try to slow down here so we don't crash into him, or, you know, when we blow him up, he doesn't... There we go. Yeah, when he loses velocity when we blow him up like that, I don't want to slam right into it. Nearest bandit, 7 o'clock high. Did someone we can see? Nah, flanker's way out there. Okay, so we're going to, very unfortunately lost our wingman, but we have what our KD is, one Raptor for a couple of their, what are they, J11s? I really gotta brush up on my Chinese designations, but I'm thinking, or maybe they're J14s? That might be too high, but I'm thinking of the, their first real 4th gen indigenous fighter, the one that was in Battlefield 2. I mean, we destroyed 2 or 3 of those. We destroyed half a dozen Q5s, and we destroyed 3 flankers at least, I think. Oh, and a pair of MiG-29s, all for 1 Raptor. You know, I mean, it's very, very unfortunate we lost a Raptor, and ideally we wouldn't have. And perhaps if I had gone after the flankers, we wouldn't have. We could have saved our wingman, but I didn't want to let the... If I had known we had backup, I would have done that, but I didn't. And that's on me. Because I just didn't want the Q5s getting past us to where they could attack stuff on the ground. But, I mean, even with the loss of a Raptor and we have the damaged Russian flanker, that is, like, horrendously good KD, I think. I mean, we have 3 4.5 gen fighters, 5 4th gen fighters, and then 6, you know, maybe 3rd gen fighter bombers, or 1 5th gen. So it's certainly not as high as I'd like it to be, but it is still pretty good. Just, you know, viewing from like a hopefully our wingman managed to bail out. It sounded like he didn't, but if he did, you know, then, you know, that's, you know, easily a dozen personnel loss for them, and at most 1 loss for us. So from that perspective, it's also a positive trade, and from the perspective, just monetary perspective, because the Raptors were, I don't know off the top of my head what they were, but I would assume if they had gone into full production and they weren't canceled early, they'd be somewhere in the ballpark of 150 million to 200 million per. And even assuming a really low number for the Chinese aircraft, like let's say 40 million for all their 4.5 gen fighters, then, you know, just with those alone, with the MiG-29s, the flankers, and the J11s, J13s, J whatevers that the game uses the FSX for, we would already be, you know, have a net gain on them, essentially. Because, let's see, 80 million, you know, let's assume 80 million for the 2 Fulcrums, 120 million for the 3 flankers, and another 120 million for the Chinese fighters. And you're at over $300 million there. And it looks like some of those Q5s did get off a few missiles. That must have been what we heard blowing up later. We're going to steer clear of that, because I believe if we get near that wreckage, we can also get blown up from that. Just like, you know, if say our wing were to clip the hitbox of a bunch of soldiers, which those soldiers apparently have a fairly large hitbox. That was something to learn. Oh, that's cool how it takes time for our engines to heat up and cool down. Or then maybe it's the sun? I don't know, at one point they looked darker, and I thought they were cooling off because of our engines being off or just about off, but now they're all bright like we're actually using them. So I don't know what actually controls that color, but it looks like our ground losses were pretty light too. Looks like we just lost the one. Is that another one there? No, okay. It looks like we just lost one aircraft on the ground. But with that, I guess we'll end the mission here. Debrief, Spastalani Air Base, date August 8th, mission Razor Edge, resolution success. You chalked up a nice number of kills in that mission. Destroyed 7, protected 5, wingman dead. It always says that even when they eject, they're still counted as dead. Whereas, I think if we were to eject during a mission and we got to this debriefing, our status would be ejected rather than dead. You know, well, obviously we aren't dead because we ejected, but so we destroyed 9 fighters to our wingman's 3. Yeah, he had 5 air-to-air launches, so I think he used up all his AMRAAMs first, which the AI does tend to do that. They'll use their longest range weapons first, it seems, and then move the shorter ones, even when it might not necessarily be appropriate, like using the AMRAAM in a dogfight. Which in real life, I think you can do that fairly well. One example being the recent, well, not so recent anymore. I think it's been a year now, give or take, but when that Super Hornet shot down that Syrian aircraft, they used an AMRAAM to do that after a Sidewinder failed. We had 35% in our guns. All of our AMRAAMs hit except one, which failed. Our wingman only had 3 of his missiles hit, while 2 failed. And then we managed to, we threw off 9 missile launches on us. Unfortunately, they had a really good hit percentage. Our wingman, it looks like they hit him with 4 missiles, while 2 failed. So, I don't know, maybe he wasn't using enough chaff or flares or something, but in any case, we got through without any damage, so we just have to do the regular maintenance on a Raptor, and we're ready to go for our next mission. But that'll have to wait for next time. So with that, thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for next time, and we'll see you then.